How about that, folks?
Okay,
Okay.
Reverend Adara.
All righty. Well, welcome one and all, and I'm sure there'll be some others. So I'm still going to I'm getting this much tighter, Bob. Tell people how this service runs for anyone that's new. So I'm Reverend Dr. Dar Walton, and I'm graciously going to be leading this, and I hope Reverend Lisa can join us, because this used to be her baby, but as it's gotten bigger, I get to take care of it too. So that's how I see it, nurturing the baby. But in any case, the way we normally do service, the healing service at Sarasota Center of Light, is we come on, we will have music, and then I am going to be talking or teaching what I call the STM, Spiritual Truth Moment or Spiritual Thought Moments. And it will be food for thought. And then we will move into the healing aspect for people on the call, followed by long distance, what we call long distance absent healing. And then after that, in prayer for those in the world of spirit, then we bring it to a close. And because the healing team comes on while we're doing that quiet meditation during the healing. So the talking followed by the healing, and then we close the service, and then we have a little for fellowship. So that's it, and that's the fastest I've ever done it. Okay, explain it. But I will do that each time. Maybe I can get it right down to a minute. But I think it's very, very important. And I am going to say this now. I didn't say it the other times, but even the talks, what I am feeding you, and rather that's coming through me, from spirit, what you are going to be getting and receiving, it does have to do with healing. So I don't want anyone to go out thinking, oh, she talks about that, and then we go and do the healing. No, the talking may be a separate activity, but it is about healing, healing you, healing others, healing of the mind. It is still about healing before we move into the aspect of actually doing the physical healing that comes through the team. The healing team, I know is there, and I am going to preface this because I don't remember saying this before, at least I didn't, and I haven't heard it. I want everyone on this call, including the healing team, to know, do not try to do or give healing when you need it. If you're not in that frame of mind, whether it's emotionally or physically, or you fill us up, don't feel it's some duty that, oh, I must serve because I'm on the healing team. I have to do this. That is exactly what I'm going to be talking about. The heart of it is our behavior, our sometimes misguided intent to take your attention and put it on something when you're the one in need. Okay, and that simply means at any given point, I don't think Spirit will do this with me because they've charged me with conducting this, But if I really, really, really were in some way that I can't manage my own emotions, that I'm too upset about something I heard, because I let somebody else's energy field impact me, guess who will not be conducting the service? Voila, right here. I will ask someone else on that team. I will ask Bob Sadler. However, I have not been told by my guys that that is what's happening or going to happen, because again, it's how you manage you. Okay, so I know some of you are familiar with the book, and I'm going to pull part of the title by Dr. Joan Borsinko, but I usually have a little title for the 12 minutes or so that I'm going to talk. So tonight, what I would like to entitle this is Minding Your Mind. Minding your mind. And yes, I do expect, take some notes. You can record me because this isn't recorded, but I've had, after subsequent to these, I keep getting calls and emails about you're dropping gems and pearls. I may be dropping. It is spirit, because I have to go to spirit before I get on this call. So I don't remember often what I'm going to say, but they said this is the title and they gave it to me right before. Minding the mind. What our life is to be about is what we call right relationship. Now, the goal and the ideal is what? Right relationship with everything and everyone, not just on this planet. Now, that is very lofty. And you often, I know all of you, me, no exception, we read philosophies, we read these wonderful spiritual books by other people, other leaders. But let me tell you, that God aspect is in every single one of you. You really, 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 really don't have to go outside of yourself. Why do I do it? Because sometimes, yes, other people are more succinct. They can say, instead of in a lot of different words, they can get it down. But it's another person like you. So minding the mind, or minding your mind, what do we all want? We need to be more coherent. We need to be in harmony as much as possible. So I do, and I fail at it, but I pick myself right back up, and I don't get all into the failure of it. What I'm talking about is I do live a life of purpose, of intent, and even more so, conscious intent. And I am going to be teaching that in the Wednesdays to come, conscious intent. There is a book, and I like this because people who know me know I have taught from this book. It's the best, one of the best resources I know to move your consciousness, because there's a plethora out there. But David Hawkins, who I did personally know, and he lived in Sedona for a bit, and he's now in the world of spirit. He wrote several books, but the book for me was Power vs. Force. Power vs. Force. And it is Power, V as in Victor, S as in Sam, Force. Because in it, that is where you find the original map of consciousness. And there is a view of God. And we're going to use the word God, but all of you on here, when you're spiritual, you know, what am I talking about? Use your word, the I am, the all that is, Mother, Father, God, Jesus, Obatala, Yemeya. Use the word that fits you. I truly am, and I'll say this and not get on it too much more. I really do get tired of this separator of, I call it this, you call it, no, that's a separator. And religions, philosophies, that's what they do. We are all in this together. Got it? You will see in Power vs. Force how you can move up the map. And we're going to talk about intention. When thoughts and feelings of others, and my wonderful cousin is here, I'm not going to point her out, she'll smile, and all of a sudden you'll know who she is, but she's going to be an example of exactly what I'm talking about and going to the heart of it. She had to get on this morning a clearing session that I sent to her and several others. Why? To clear what happens when you allow your field to interact with others and you're spiritual to the bone, right? And you get dragged down. And I mean quick, fast, and in a hurry. Or like the email I got prior to this call saying, I'm in such an emotional state, and I'm not going to point this name out. I'm in such an emotional state, and this happened to me and that happened to me. I don't think I can be on the call. Well, what happened to the God self? What happened to keeping yourself in alignment and your intent? Now, we can all fall, but folks, if you fall, please fall temporarily. If you're going to unplug from the source up here, unplug temporarily, because I'm going to stand up now and show you this. You will see this over and over, and Spirit said, wear it more. Do you see what this says? Do you see this t-shirt? Do you see this sweatshirt? Sweat, my sweat, co-sweating with Spirit, co-sweating with source. Save yourself. Got it? How do you do that? With the thoughts. You move from levels. I watched a beautiful movie, and it is on Netflix. It is a stylized version, but if you have Netflix, go see it, on the life of Sai Baba. Because Sai Baba, Yeshua, Buddha, a lot of them, they could come in a room, in a place, in the mountainside, and change and elevate your consciousness just by walking in. Well, guess what? I can do that too. And no, I'm not being egotistical or arrogant. I can do that too. I have that kind of control and power, and so do you. Because where is it coming from? The inner source of you. You are still a spark of that power. And even though you've seen it in the written word, folks, there's so much that has been written about how powerful we are. And you see it when you even have just a small interaction. Thoughts and feelings of others can and will impinge on you. They will drag you down in minutes. Or they can lift you up. Why? Because the energy fields are interacting, and it really is all energy. But you can easily contaminate someone else when you drag your conversation into somebody else's world. And I don't care how spiritual you are, monitor yourself. Feel your feelings. Check how you are feeling when the person's bringing you the information. Now, I'm going to share this with you because I'm going to read this. And Spirit said, I wasn't going to be biblical. They said, when we tell you to be, you will be. So every Wednesday, if I have to bring a sentence that goes with today is minding the mind, okay? So if I have to bring a verse, I will. But I like Lamza, and I'm going to read from King James too. And this is coming out of Romans 12:2. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. Now there's more, but I'm going to stop there. It said don't be conformed to this world, but be ye transformed. Change yourself, elevate yourself, move that energy by the renewing of your mind. So minding the mind. Now, Lamza actually even says it more succinctly. It says, do not imitate the way of this world. That's what it said. That's in the Lamza version of the Bible. Do not imitate the way of this world, but, and then it goes on to say, be ye transformed. Well, how do you mind the mind? Well, I'm going to tell you this. Change your mind, get it into a higher energy field, change your thoughts. All of you, if you haven't seen the little book, you've heard it, go get it. It's very small. As a woman thinketh, so is she. As a man thinketh, so is he. Thoughts, again, are things. But what are these things? They're still comprised of energy fields, invisible fields. You can feel when somebody's jacking you up, so to speak, and when you're doing the same thing with someone else. But you know what we do? We persist with the ego. We let the ego, we have to thrive off the gossip. We keep dragging it and it gets so emotional, but I got to tell this detail. I said, no, do you see this again? And you see where her hands are, one in front, that's at the third eye. Now, it said this is a kinesiology technique, and those of you who know me again know I teach energy kinesiology. But the hand, when you see it, is here. It is covering the third eye, folks. The third eye connects directly to the pituitary, which connects directly to the pineal gland, which connects up to your, what is it? It's in your crown chakra. So save yourself. One hand here. When you put the other hand in the back, the occiput. I don't have time to go into what you're accessing when you access back brain, but you are taking old habits, old thoughts, bringing them from here, there, minding the mind. Okay? So I want us to start to elevate. I only got about 2 more minutes to throw some other things in here to you, okay? But as you do that, you are keeping Wayne Dyer, which I know you all know, and I love him because he wouldn't even entertain stuff with his daughters and his family. And my cousin knows I love her, but when it starts dragging, she knows I stop it. I will stop it because it's an energy that's hitting my field, and I don't expect her to keep me clean. It's me. Keep your energy field clean. Keep your energy field clear. Start staying in conscious contact with source. Keep that right in your heads and keep it in your heart. Why? God is love, and he that dwelleth in love dwells in God. So we need to carry that God consciousness aspect. Even if you're not talking about it verbally, folks, start carrying it daily so that you start monitoring yourself with your loved ones, with your family, with your daughters, your sons, your husbands, your wives. You cannot keep entertaining, getting dragged down, having your field get contaminated. If you're not in a harmonious state, let me tell you, we know this is a world of duality, right? Up, down, left, right, top, bottom, front, back. Well, guess what? When it comes to your energy field being unclean, there's only 2 options that you have. You don't have a lot of variations and variables. No, it's 2. Either the conversation you're in with someone, what you're bringing or what you're listening to will either elevate you and move you to a higher state, or it will drag you down, and your field can only do 1 or 2 things: increase or decrease. Okay? And so which way? We want to be positive. We want to stay up, because if not, you can't maintain that harmonious state. And the more you practice doing it, the more you will. And the more you're aware of how you're bringing yourself into the conversation or not, how you're tainting it. And we're all guilty, but again, don't live in the guilt. Just say, oh, I did that. Let me not do that. Let me monitor myself a little bit better. And the more you do that, the more I'm telling you, this is what I know. This is not a belief. This is a knowingness. Your guides, those who love us on the other side, are only too willing to help us stay in that higher state so that we are feeling love. We are being love. We are bringing that and sharing that with everybody. But you can't give something to someone else that you won't give for yourself. So again, I stand up. And if you just got on, save yourself. Okay, mind your mind, mind your feelings. Change your mind, change your thoughts. Change your thoughts, change your feelings. Change your thoughts and feelings, and you will change your life. If not, you will stay trapped and bound in issues, in problems of the world, and you will give your energy to that which is disempowering. When you give into shame, guilt, anxiety, all the rest, that's not God. And we know that. That is not source. And don't play into it just because it's so dire and the person's depressed. Let me tell you, we all come here to balance and walk. So I'm going to close with this. Get rid of the shame, the depression, the anger, whatever it is. I will try to send everybody what I call the map of consciousness. I will send it to the church. It's not my map. It was David Hawkins. And he shows you how to move up and where you fall. The thing is, folks, every single one of you know when you fall because you can feel it. You feel it because you're spiritual. And that's what happens. It's not just thinking. So 2 topics in the future, and then I'm going to stop because we got to get on to the healing. They said I had to talk about this. We had to talk about intent. We had to talk about where energy goes and how to be in harmony. So your life is about right relationship with everything and everyone. However, withdraw your field from whoever, whenever, when you can feel is going elsewhere. You're responsible for you. We are going to talk about in the future, surrender. The Spirit said, if I don't get everybody on the right page feeling good about themselves, there's no sense in talking about surrender because most people's energy drops the minute you say they're going to have to surrender to blah. It's like, ugh. No. So we have to be in our right minds with this right intent and harmonious, minding our mind so that we know when we go to talk about surrender. The other topic I'm going to deal with in some future, Spirit will let me know, is why we pray for those in the spirit world. Why we pray for those in the spirit world, which we are still going to do on every healing call that I have. It's not just for us. It's not just for the absent healing. So I'm going to stop with that. I went over it a little bit. That's okay. So I'm going to call in the healing team. And I want everyone now we're going to take it down. Just settle in. Dim your lights. Do whatever you need to do. Take a nice breath. And we're going to lower this. We're going to mind our mind again. But this time, we're going to tell our mind to get quiet and mind your breathing. So just breathe a little slower, breathe a little deeper, slower and deeper. Feel your breathing slowing down. Feel your out breath, your exhale, connecting to the in breath. Mind the breath and allow the breath to move you deeper, slower. Feel the gentleness. Again, breath is connection to God, source. So breathe yourself into that light. And I'm asking that the highest, clearest light now be placed in front of all of us here, behind us, on the right and left sides, above our head, below our feet, moving in through and around all light levels, breathing with the breath and allowing yourself gently to sink down more and more into that protected space of light. And I now station Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, and all the healing angels of our teams and everyone on this call, all the help, and the Chohans, the angels. And I now call on the healing team of Sarasota Center of Light. And if you need healing, do not attempt to send it. Don't do a disservice to yourself. Simply mind your mind and open up your body because we have so much help from the other side. Now we move into the silence. I'm now going to thank the healers for their service of being channels to each and every one of you on this call. I want everyone to keep their alignment to source, whatever you call it, because everyone on this call has healing capabilities. We now direct that to those who are not on this call. There's a beautiful bowl in the sanctuary, and in that bowl is placed at Sarasota Center of Light names of people, places, even pets, because everything can accept and receive healing. And each of you go into that spirit part of you that does have the connection to source. And that is what you use to send healing. Don't think you're doing it, because none of us are. It is our connection to our light, and that connection directly to source through Raphael, through the angels, through the archangels, that raises our light and allows us to send to others in need. So send first to those that you know. You have names. You have people in your family, friends. Don't dwell on the specifics of what that illness is, be it physical or emotional. Don't. Mind your mind and allow the energy of spirit to flow through you to each one of those, to your colleagues. Now expand it. You're sending it out to friends. Maybe you saw someone on the street, homeless, someone that looked in disarray and they needed. Bring that picture of that person back. Maybe you saw a scraggly dog or something. Doesn't matter. Allow the healing energy to flow out. Send it to your cities, to your neighbors, out to any town, any place you know where there is still violence going on. God is love, and the way of peace comes through each of us. Allow it to flow out to the world, to other planets, to other galaxies, to other beings. Do not hold on to any fear. You are shielded by the highest, clearest light that is with us now, coming through us. So let it flow. Every name in that sanctuary bowl, every living thing on or off this planet. Again, we are one, and we walk the path of righteousness. And the prayers of the righteous do avail much. All you have to do is pray. Connect to your source and let that energy flow. Last, I need everyone on this call, again, allowing healing energy to flow to those in the spirit world. Your friends, your parents, your grandparents, ancestors, they still need healing. Some actually require it for the way they may transition. Allow spirit to heal spirit. And again, you're in the spiritual part of yourself. So you try the spirit by the spirit and let it flow. Let it cross those barriers. Love knows no barriers. You dwell in God, and God is love. You dwell in love. Send it to all in the world of spirit. Other guides and spirits know how to calibrate the frequency and vibration appropriate for whoever's in the recipient in the world of spirit. And with that, I want you to very gently start to come back. I've already thanked the healers. I thank each of you for serving as a vibrational channel of light, keeping your connection to source to do this healing on this call. If you're in a mudra, separate your hands, separate your fingers, stop that flow temporarily, that disconnect. Start to resume your normal breathing. I'm going to count us up from 5 to 1. Coming up gently, slowly, minding your mind. 4. Coming out, opening slightly those eyes, moving your head left or right. 3. Some of you are already out, that's good. You're doing your hair, your eyes are doing whatever they're doing. Opening the blues, the browns, if you got gray, whatever they are. Shrug those shoulders, folks. Come on, shrug them. Take a breath in, take it out. Open those eyes completely. 2. And I think most of you are back. I can't see everybody. However, on 1, I want everyone to be here right now. Show of hands. Put those hands up. Put some fingers up. Wave at me. Do something. I know you're all right. All right. And I can see that. Very, very, very good. How does everybody feel? You might still be protected. A little light. I am encouraging everybody, please. We went deep today. Everybody, drink some water. Unless, because there's a couple of you on this call, I can feel you. Water will still put you out, take you out a little bit more. So if it does, don't drink the water. Get some sand. If you need to, get a little thing of sand at the end of this, these sessions in the future. Be able to put your hand in some gritty sand, or something like that, so that you can feel the grounding. If you took your shoes off, put your shoes back on, because rubber impedes energy. So put your shoes on and rub them on the floor, okay? That'll also help ground you. But if water helps, then drink some water, okay? Namaste to each of you. Thank you for everyone on this call being a vessel. And that's what we're going to be doing every single call while I'm still here. And my pastor's here, so he said, hear me what I say, because that's what she's going to be doing. And so with that, I'm going to close the service. I'm going to thank each and every one of you. Those of you who can stay, thank you, Mary Jo. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I rarely, when I come out, get to see the comments, but I'm going to start trying to ground myself by reading the chat box more. But we can all unmute and you can fellowship. You can say hi to each other. Thank you, cuz, for letting me do that. I didn't tell any specific details. All I said was you got dragged down and we had to clear you. Okay? And we all help each other.
Thank you, Reverend Dar.
Thank
you.
Thank
Jeannie.
You.
Rini, I lost your phone number.